Greetings, everybody. This is the start of week 2 for our ALEC 102 class. And again, I wanted to send you a video link so I could kind of walk you through what is required for our second week. As you can see on our Blackboard website, if you click in the week 2 tab, the first thing I have listed are the readings that are required for this week. In order for you to be successful in completing the quizzes and being able to do the discussion board posts, you need to make sure you read through Chapter 2 on active listening, Chapter 3 on nonverbal communication, and Chapter 10, the different levels of communication. As a reminder, every week you have a discussion board due in your groups. Your first initial post, your response is due by Thursday of this week at 11:45 p.m., and then you are to reply to your group members' posts by Sunday of the week. Now, this week for your discussion board post, we're doing things a little bit differently in regards to what I'm looking for. This discussion board post is about finding an agency. And as you can see, this is where I'm going to have you use a specific format to answer the discussion board question. Your discussion board question focuses on what, so what, and now what. So the what is how did you choose an agency and what steps did you take? This is something you should be working on this week to finalize that. The so what is how do you feel about your choice? And the now what is how would you evaluate your selection? What would you do differently if you could? And then I have a bullet here that says if you haven't chosen an agency yet, write about the process thus far. However, if you are still struggling to find an agency, you need to contact me as soon as possible, or you need to contact Darcy, who is our assistant for the Center for Civic Engagement, so she can help you find an agency very quickly. Again, your post is due by 11:45 of this week, and then you respond to what your group members have said by Sunday. When you respond to your group members, I'm looking that you are creating a dialogue, that you are creating a learning community. Don't simply say, cool choice. I'm not going to give you full credit on your post if you don't actually discuss feedback. You're at an academic level here, so just make sure you have well thought out responses to your classmates. So for your post, you're looking for approximately 3 paragraphs. So consider maybe a page of text. I again suggest that you open up a Word document, you answer the 3 questions, what, so what, now what in the Word document, and then you put that Word document into your discussion board. You copy and paste it in. Remember that when you discuss in your groups, you will find your group number on the bottom left-hand corner of our Blackboard site. And again, you don't see that on my example since I'm the instructor. I don't have the group numbers down in the bottom left-hand corner. So by Sunday of this week, you need to have completed quiz number 3, which is over nonverbal communication. This quiz is different in nature than compared to the ones you did during week 1. This is more of an activity than it is a reading quiz. So what you need to do is click on the actual quiz itself, open up the quiz. And then what this quiz is having you do is I want you to choose a location to sit where you're out of the way, but you're able to observe interpersonal interactions and nonverbal communication. This might be at a restaurant, a library, a shopping mall. Maybe you live in the Lincoln area and you want to go to the student center, or maybe you're at your gym. Once you've chosen your place, I want you to observe the nonverbal communication between individuals. Can you identify the type of relationship? Does it look like it's a group of friends? Does it look like an intimate couple? Are people having an argument, etc.? Please make detailed observation notes. Your notes will include the setting of the environment, the surroundings, the noise level, and the different channels of communication. Your note should be on a separate piece of paper and approximately a half a page. So think about taking really good notes. Look at the environment and the surrounding around you. And so I've given you a couple prompts here. Then what you're going to do using Chapter 3 is when you're observing people, you are going to write down an example of an emblem, an illustrator, effect display, a regulator, and an adapter. I do not want you to use the exact examples from the book. The goal is that you find an example while you're doing your observation. So once you do your quiz, you'll fill this out and save it. Again, you'll have your observation notes on a separate sheet of paper. You'll click on the Quiz 3 title. You'll browse your computer to find where you've saved your quiz. And then you will open that up, and then you'll browse your computer. And just for an example, let's pretend those are my observation notes. So you'll have two attachments, the quiz and the observation notes, and then you will hit submit. So then I can go and grade the quiz. Also due by Sunday of this week, you need to have filled out your service learning agreement and completed the Memorandum of Understanding on Husker HireLink. These are two separate things. The service learning agreement is the actual paper document to be signed by you and your agency supervisor. It's a required legal document that we must have in order for you to work at your agency. You need to scan the document or take a picture of it somehow, and then you'll upload it down here below. The second attachment that you see is a JPEG. This JPEG walks you through how to fill out the Memorandum of Understanding on Husker HireLink. So essentially, one contract is a paper version, the other contract is the online Husker HireLink version. So you're filling it out kind of in two separate places, and you're doing this because the Center for Civic Engagement needs to keep track of this information. So click on the first file. So this is your service learning agreement. You need to fill out the top and the second part, and then you'll notice this bottom half here. Your learning outcomes are where you do your 3 STEAM goals, which you were working on last week. You wrote 1. You may choose 2 from your group members if you like the ones your group members wrote, and they're going to follow what you want to do in your service learning experience. If you don't like what your group members wrote, if you don't need to work on time management and one of your group members posted on time management, don't just choose that goal. You need to set 3 goals for yourself that you will constantly be assessing throughout our 8-week course, because you'll present on it in your final presentation. I do not want you to type your 3 goals in this space. There is not enough room. You need to attach your 3 STEAM goals for your service experience on a separate sheet of paper. And yes, all 3 STEAM goals should be on interpersonal leadership skills. Again, you need to choose topics from our textbook. On the right-hand side, it talks about service experiences. This is where, in discussion with your site supervisor, you will list out some of the things that you are doing. So it might be something like work in the after-school program with kids ages 13 to 15. Whatever the case might be. Maybe you will provide tutoring for summer school kids. You will provide a safe environment for the kids. Whatever your duties are at the agency that your site supervisor and you discuss, this is fine to type. The left-hand side STEAM goals need to be on a separate sheet of paper. On page 2, as a student, you need to read through all of these to make sure you understand that this is a contract and you're committing to these. You initial. Below, your site supervisor initials to agree to what the university is looking for in an agency. Then you and your supervisor sign it, and then again, I need to have both of these pages. You need to scan them, take photos of them, and upload them, however you can get them back to me. And again, the second link talks about how you enter this information in Husker HireLink. So you're going to fill it out on the piece of paper first, then you're going to go into your Husker HireLink account, which you need to create this week, and then you will fill out the Memorandum of Understanding on Husker HireLink. Down below is where you're going to upload your service learning agreement and your STEAM goals. This document is simply the rubric I will use and give back to you. This is how I'm grading you. This assignment is worth 35 points. To completely fill out the service learning agreement and type out your STEAM goals following the STEAM format. So when you're done with all that, you simply click on the title, just like you did for quiz 3, browse your computer, and you will upload the service learning agreement along with the separate sheet of paper that has your STEAM goals on it. So again, you will have maybe 2 or 3 attachments because that service learning agreement is 2 pages. And then also the STEAM goals, and you will hit submit. So a recap. Read chapters 2, 3, and 10. Do your initial discussion board post in your group by Thursday. Respond to your classmates by Sunday. Complete quiz 3 or assignment 3 by Sunday. By Sunday at the end of the week, you should have your Husker HireLink account set up. You should have filled out your memorandum of understanding in Husker HireLink and completed the service learning agreement with your site supervisor, wrote out 3 STEAM goals for the 8-week course and your service experience, and attach it here. If you have any questions, please make sure that you email me. If you have any questions about filling out the memorandum of understanding, if you have any questions about Husker HireLink, if you are still struggling on trying to find a service agency, please contact our assistant through the Center for Civic Engagement. Her name is Darcy. You can find Darcy's information under syllabus and schedule right down here. Darcy is our service learning coordinator, and I have her email address and her phone number. Darcy knows how to get into Husker HireLink and help you with that, and she's able to help you with agencies because she works for the Center for Civic Engagement. Because I do not work in that office, I cannot help you out like Darcy can. In addition to that, I can't really help you out with Husker HireLink because I have a faculty site, not a student site, so mine looks a lot different than yours. What I do is I go into the experiential learning tab on my end, and then I will track your hours. So I go in and I look to see, are you recording your hours at your center? And at the end of the 8 weeks, you will evaluate your site, you'll do a self-evaluation, and you'll do a reflection paper that you upload into Husker HireLink, and then your agency also evaluates you. So that's what I see on my end. I'm able to go in here and review your experience and see everything that you talked about. So I get to go in and look at all this information. So my Husker HireLink looks a lot different than yours. So that's why if you have questions as a student, you need to contact Darcy at the Center for Civic Engagement so she can better answer your questions. It's not that I don't want to help you, it's just that I won't be able to help you like she can because she's the expert there. So if you have any questions moving forward into week 2, please make sure that you get in contact with me. Of course, you can email me. You can always call me. You have my cell phone number, or if you're able, I'm more than happy to meet with you face-to-face somewhere on campus, on UNL's campus, maybe at the union or the library or something, whatever we can get to work out. Have a great week, everybody, and I look forward to moving forward and learning about your service learning experiences.